Hi. I am so happy that you clicked on this video. If you are expecting, congratulations. If you have delivered your child, congratulations as well. I'm so excited to do this. It's been a roller coaster ever since I gave birth to my newborn, who is not even a newborn anymore. At this point, I wanted to do the video at 2 weeks out. Then I was like, okay, 6 weeks out. Right here I am, 3 months out, and I'm sitting down to do this postpartum video for you. I can talk about my labor and delivery, but that's gonna have to be in a separate video. If you're interested, hit a like or a comment that you want a video from me about my labor and delivery process. But I don't want to waste your time. I know you guys are busy. So am I. I'm trying to do this while the baby is napping. So let's get into it. And let's talk about the first thing was pain. It was very painful for me immediately after giving birth, of course. What did they give me for pain medication? They gave me like Tylenol, ibuprofen, something like that, like some over-the-counter stuff. The pain, I was sore. Like, and I'm gonna use like terms here. I hope we're all adults here. I hope that we can just have this conversation, and I want to give you the real. So like my I don't know if you say vaginal area was very sore from the pushing of labor. Okay, so in delivery, so I had to have assistance. I had ended up getting an epidural. I had to have assistance my first time getting out of bed. Okay, and so the nurse helped me to the bathroom, and I'm gonna just go over with you the things that she helped set me up with. Okay, so there was like a kit. So first they give you their underwear brief. It's like a mesh type of thing. What you're gonna do is this is the pad. Let me show you how big this pad is. This is the pad. Voila. This is how big this pad is. Okay, this is what's going in your underwear. There's a liner back here that you remove, and it has an adhesive there, and then you lay your underwear. You lay this. She actually laid this first, and then we put everything in the underwear, but I'll show you. Then there's this, and this is like an ice pack. If you can hear that, you break it, you shake it, and it becomes cold, right? So let me just put this here for you. So that's what we have. Then there's a pad here for your blood flow, right? And then you can also either put these on you. This is a witch hazel pads, and it's like they use from hemorrhoids for swelling and all this stuff. Put that there. And then there's this dermaplast, and this is good for germs, killing off germs. Okay, so it's an antibacterial spray that you will put. So the way the nurse taught me is that I put the witch hazel on this pad here, and then spray with the dermaplast, or you can put this directly on your area. Okay, after I urinated, you need to cleanse. This is what they gave at the hospital. I think there is one, and I know there's one made by Freedom Mom, and it has a tip, but it gives you a better angle for when you're cleaning down there. Okay, you need to clean after you urinate, especially if you have a bowel movement. You need to take the water, lukewarm water, and clean that area, and then you just tap. For me, I was extremely sore. I don't know if I can even express to you how sore I was. And that's what I did for every change. I learned quickly though what not to do. Let me share this with you. I think like the first time I had, is it the first or the second, doing this change, this whole routine, I took away this portion, the ice. Thinking, oh, I feel better, because it did help. It's like that cooling sensation does help with the pain. I was like, oh, I feel better. So I stopped. I didn't use it. And then the pain that came on afterwards, I was like, I learned my lesson. So every time after that, I made sure, and this is days I'm doing this, okay? This is not like, a day, or I'm doing this for days. Even when I got home, I was doing this, okay? Actually, after I started doing the ice pack, I felt like I didn't need the ice pack. The ice pack is needed because of the swelling, okay? The swelling for me was a lot. I used Honey Pot. I believe the Honey Pot company, I hope I'm saying that correctly. I used their, they had like pads. It was like, I feel like a maxi pad too. And you put it on there. I put it there and this gave like a cold sensation, but that Honey Pot, it had like herbs and stuff like that in there. It gave it more like a menthol, like a cool, it was cooling, but a different. This was like cold. The other one was like a menthol. I don't know how to describe it, but like that's the best I can do it. But it's not cold. It was more like somebody gave down there like a like a breath mint, like something like a mint or something like that kind of sensation down there. And it was beyond helpful. I'm so glad that I ordered that before I already had it on hand when I arrived home. So this is what you can expect, okay? And of course, and you can bring your own briefs, but I used theirs, and then when I was like, back home, I used my own briefs. I didn't use the hospital briefs. Okay, what I've got. My bleeding itself, though, the bleeding, I felt like the bleeding lasted. It varies from one person to another. Some people say it's like, like a period, and whatever length of your period is or whatever. I felt like I bled longer than I expected, longer than compared to my other two deliveries postpartum. I just felt like I bled longer. I kept on having to change my pads. It wasn't anything heavy, like anything that I needed to call my OBGYN to be like, listen, I wasn't hemorrhaging, but I just felt like the blood flow, it took a while for me to stop having to use pads in general, okay? As far as like, I don't know if I told you, but I tore. So that's a different thing. I never had to be like sutured up like that. Like I tore. So that's why it's important to make sure you keep your area clean, because and like for me, I have a wound basically, and and I have a cut that needs to heal. I have to keep the area clean, and so you don't want germs coming in there, interfering, giving you an infection. Also, the cleaning, the dermaplast. I used my maxi pads. I'm always like been like a type of person to use always, but I've been like weaning myself off of those type of products. I just used a whole organic cotton maxi pad. That's what I used postpartum when I arrived back. I just feel like, the vaginal walls, it's you don't really I didn't really realize how it can absorb a lot into your blood, into your body and stuff like that. So I was just like, let me just keep this area as chemical free as possible. All right, so those are my first three things. I had a abdominal binder that I used. I used that abdominal binder, yeah. I used it for a whole month at the very minimum. Actually, I'm back to using it. Now I've gained weight, so I feel like I just need something. But like the abdominal binder is to help keep everything in. There is a difference between you carrying the load of the baby and when that area is gone, because you have to think about it. All your organs were compressed and everything's a reshifting. I feel like it helped me with my posture. The binder was well worth it. I still have it. I recommend you having an abdominal binder. If you can. I really did. I didn't have one for my toddler, who's now a toddler. I didn't have him. My sister was like, "You don't have a binder?" And I was like, "No." And that's how, like, I think she gave me like underwear or something like that. That's like those thick underwear that can go like a girdle type of thing. But a binder, actual needed. I didn't have a C-section. I think that I was thinking more of like that's something for women who have C-sections. But even for a vaginal delivery, I would highly recommend getting an abdominal binder. My breasts were very sore. Now, my breasts were always sore, even from pregnancy. They were sore. I used the nipple cream. I thought I would use the nipple cream a lot post having the baby, but not so much. I used the lanolin that they had there. Oh no, that's not true. I brought my nipple cream with me. I used that. But the pain was different. I was just having just regular, increased large breast pain from when I was pregnant. But with postpartum, the pain came from the baby latching. And the latching, getting used to having that sensation. And of course, like the first few latches were not the best latches. The baby, it caused me pain. The latch is not supposed to hurt, at least not like that. So it had a few things going on. I had the baby learning how to latch and me trying to make sure that I'm giving the baby the right type of latch. I mean, I don't say that's right type of latch, but helping the baby latch properly, positioning myself, having the baby, if it's not good, having the baby release the latch. I had severe contraction like pain from when the baby did latch properly. That pain was like I was in like mid labor, like seriously, it's a serious pain for me. I also had pain to my foot. That was weird, very, very weird. I don't know if I had to do anything with the epidural. I did not want the epidural, but because I'm like, I've never had that sensation before. So it was like a pain in my abdomen from the contractions, the pain on my breast, and the pain on my foot. And it was very specific. It was very sharp, and it was sharp in all three areas. So very painful. So I just had to get used to baby latching as we practiced and stuff like that. The latch, I didn't even feel need. I didn't have pain from the latching anymore. I didn't feel it, and I stopped at, of course, by like a month or so. I didn't feel any, not even a month. I don't even think that long, but I stopped feeling the pain from when the baby's latching on my contraction. Like it wasn't that. It was maybe like 2 weeks or so, or something like that. I'm estimating because at this point time has passed on. So, but you can expect that kind of pain. My experience is different from yours, but I think that it's not uncommon to hear about that type of pain from the uterus contraction when the baby latches. Okay. Okay, one thing I struggled with is my ability to rest mentally and physically. Okay, and it's still an issue now, right? But it was very hard juggling my nap time with the baby. Sometimes I was tired, so it was what it was. The baby napped, I napped. But given the fact that I have a toddler, it was just, I think the first couple of weeks, it's like, oh, you had a baby, you need to rest. And I think the environment around you, it's like encouraged to rest, it's encouraged to this. But it's like, after a while, you're like, okay, you're trying to, from my mind, I speak for myself, you kind of feel like, okay, I gotta kind of like get the program, life goes on. I have the toddler, I have to do things, I'm trying to get back. And I remember I think it was 2 weeks out, my sister came to see me. And she didn't really come see me. She just came to drop off some food for me, a meal for me. And she was just like, I was on my feet. I was doing something. I don't know if I was cooking or cleaning. I don't know what I was doing. She's like, what you doing? She's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing. She's like, you're going to regret that. Like, you need to sit down. Don't think. And then for me, I felt like the pain that I was feeling, even though I was in pain, I felt much better than compared to when I first delivered. So in my mind and in my body, I'm thinking I'm doing well, But as time goes on, I'm like, yo, the times people ask me, are you good? I'm like, I feel good. I feel fine. I really wasn't. Like I said before, it took me a long time just for even my laceration to heal. Until then, I felt that, It's only when it's like, oh, the pain is absolutely gone, then I can say, oh wow, I was faking the funk. I didn't even know it. I was not fine. I was not. Okay. So what I struggle with now, 3 months, is taking a nap when the baby takes a nap. And I'm not sleeping. That sleep, the baby has not skipped a feeding yet at night. I'm not sleeping I'm not getting all night sleep. Okay, so if you have, I see why people have an assistant. If you have an auntie, if you have a mom, if you have somebody who can like assist you for the first, like really like be with you, like stay with you, that would be the ultimate, so that you can, because your body is healing and you need the rest. I needed the rest, okay? But my time has gone. If you have that, try to get your sleep because your body needs it, okay? Speaking of my toddler, I said I had to because he's full of energy, and I feel like I had to entertain him and be a mom to him, and that how can I put it? That new transition of having two young kids, it's hard. It's hard, like really is. I felt guilty if I didn't give him that type of attention. He wanted it. I felt like there was a little signs of regression from him. Like my toddler, he was 3 at the time. He just turned 4. He got potty training down. We were like, it was a few months in, and he's like got it down. All of a sudden he's like urinating on himself. He's crying for no reasons. Oh man, when I had my first time, I was in my little chair, my little rocking chair, and I had baby crying, which he had a lot of guys crying. That kind of crying when you're trying to get to know your baby, know their cries, know what's wrong, trying to figure out what's wrong. That's one thing. What else? The baby's crying and my toddler is crying, and they're crying at the same time, and I'm in pain, and I don't know what to do. It's like that and I feel like I was been inundated with a lot of stimuli. It was just a lot for me. So, for those who have toddlers or kids, it's a lot. And I don't know what kind of game plan you're gonna have, but just expect that it may not be as smooth as you plan in your head. Okay. The baby fed every 2 or 3 hours. I'm just looking at my notes. Yeah, I just was fatigued. I probably will have to do a separate video because what I had on my notes here is more about breastfeeding, and I have to tell you about my breastfeeding journey. That's a whole different topic because the fatigue that I was experiencing it was hard because I was trying to nurse, I was bottle feeding, and then I was pumping. That's a whole different story. I just was, and I was just mentally, I was foggy. It's the lack of sleep. My eyes were blurry. I remember like looking at the screen and I feel like I couldn't even really read the words. It was just the lack of sleep. It was a lot, and then it took like maybe 2 months for that to kind of get better. Meal planning, I mentioned that my sister dropped off meals. Listen, it takes a village. And I thank everybody who brought food, who ordered a meal for me to eat. Like, that is very important. If you can get people, or people want to, if they want to, accept it. I did prep though prior to when I was pregnant, and when the times that I could cook, I made batches of food. And that was good to be, the ones that were good to be to freeze, I make sure that I just froze a batch and put it in the freezer for a later use. Try to cook if you can cook. Even now, if I can cook, I make a big batch, and then I just take some and I just put some in the freezer so that it just eliminates. It's like you're cooking for the future, and it saves time. You don't have a lot of time. You don't need, so it's just easier to do it that way. I also ordered HelloFresh. That was helpful. Yeah, it was helpful, especially in the beginning where I couldn't get out. I mean, I think the first month I didn't even really leave the house. I left to go to the doctor's appointments or stuff like that. Like, other than that, I stayed in. I mean, in the culture, it's like you stay home with your child. 30 days, the minimum, a month at the minimum for you to rest and not be all about with the newborn outside. That's just the philosophy that they have, that my culture has. Some people even say a month and a half. And based on how I even healed from my laceration, my cut, and not cut, but yeah, my laceration. I think that, yeah, it was like a month and a half. So the meal planning was great. I didn't have to worry about going to the store. It just came to the door. I didn't think about the recipes. My partner could help. The recipes are already right there. Follow the directions. It was great. Sometimes I had too much food. Sometimes I didn't have enough food. So it kind of helped fill in the gaps, and I don't regret it. I think I just canceled the subscription because now I can go shopping, and the weather is nice enough for me to go out and grab a few things and stuff like that. But it was helpful to have that. Only thing I would end it with this for now is have your family and friends. You decide when you want to accept visitors, okay? And I don't know, for some reason I felt like I had to entertain my guests, and I don't have to. Maybe it's in my head, but like that takes away from your sleep. Some people just want to come and just hold the kid for you, the baby for you. You can, but you decided what you want. If you want people to come in right away, that's up to you. If you want to wait a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a month, that's up to you. So that's that. I'm gonna have to take a little pause right now. I think I hear the baby crying. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Listen, the accepting company, that's to your comfort zone. Some people feel as if they have company, it's like too much stimulus. Still too stimulating, is overwhelming. Some people feel like, listen, come now. Come help me. It depends. And you know what? You may have it may change from week to week. And it's okay to communicate with your family and friends. If you have a tribe, if you have it, you're fortunate, lean on to that. Please don't feel like you have to take on everything by yourself, because it really takes a village. All right. What else? And this is more like a breastfeeding thing, but I feel like even through pregnancy, I'll just mention it right now because I know my breasts have gotten bigger, but I feel as though postpartum wise, it's still helpful whether you're breastfeeding or not. If you have changes in your breast, then you're gonna maybe have changes in your bra size. I know for me, when I was pregnant, I definitely stopped wearing bras with underwire because it was just painful, especially with the belly, with the bump. So I stopped doing that. I just wore a sports bra. Postpartum, I was wearing sports bras too. But certain things, I'm pretty busty, and some things I used to really wear a bra with the underwire, because the breasts, especially now, they're heavy. Before they got bigger, then they got heavy. It's two different things. So I need to wear a good bra. So I would recommend getting some of these. I got these through Amazon. And this I feel like a whole auntie. I remember seeing my mother using these. And these are just to adjust your bra, especially if you gain weight. Sometimes the cup size are sufficient enough for you. You just gain weight and you just need an extra inches on the back, on the band. And these are the deal. Get you some of these. They're very inexpensive, and I know for me, my bras cost a lot of money, and so this kind of helped with just getting used out of the bras that I have, and just with the little alteration, that's all I needed was that it can save me a good $60 instead of buying another bra for the longer band, whatever. So that's the tip right there. Get you some. And then when I went to go get that, check on the baby, I also went and got the band that I mentioned to you I got this off at Amazon. I don't know if you did, but it's basically Velcro. And it's wide, it's big. You can see all this. and you just wrap it. I ain't gonna low key. I'll tell you a story. I had to go out, right? And like I mentioned before, my breast got heavy. So I had bras all different sizes. So I wore a strapless bra. But it was fine. Like a few weeks ago, I wore the strapless bra, no problem. But like my breast got heavier. So like it just felt like it just wasn't keeping me up. I was like, I gotta keep. So I wore an outfit. I took a picture. I saw the picture. I was like, not too thrilled. And then also your image can take a little beating, but be kind to yourself. You just had a baby, who cares? Be nice to yourself. But I was like, and I wore the same bra for a different event. And I was like, I don't want that. I don't want my breast to look that heavy. And I put this on. Child, this thing is doubling as a body waist trainer type of thing, because I put that on and it just lifted. It gave the breast a lift with that. And then it wasn't like the outfit that I wore, you couldn't really see that I had this underneath. And there was no words to express. I felt better. My posture was good. My breast looked lifted. For those who know what happens to your boobs after pregnancy and breastfeeding, and I told you this is my third one, like, it's an issue. So I'm glad I had this, because I just thought quickly and this came to the rescue. All right, so this is an interesting topic that I'm switching into gears now. Of course, I was in pain. I had another symptom that I didn't have during pregnancy that I had at postpartum. I had swelling in my feet. And I was just like, oh, why are my feet so swole? I remember like putting my finger, touching my hand like this, and it was just like, it took a while for it to even come back. It was just like swollen. And my aunt, oh, God bless her. My mom, she cannot, she's like physically, she cannot do this for me. But there's a custom, and it's like, in which, from my culture, in which, you get this, I don't call it bath. We don't call it bath. We call it, it's called bang. And which they take tea leaves, and they make a tea out of it, and they boil them. And that's the water that you use to basically take a bath in, but not necessarily with soap per se right away. It's like you take the leaves and they just beat your body with it, like on you. They're patting. And it's warm water, and then you take it and you sit over it in that steam. What do they call these things? I see them now. They call them like yoni stuff, like yoni this, yoni that, but like that's a thing for real. Like, people like usually take those leaves and then you just sit over the bucket over it, and you just let that steam hit your that area. I don't know if I can say it, your perineum. I will say that. Anyway, I'm not monetized anyway. It's a small channel. I think I could say vagina, like vagina and your perineum, and which like. Yeah, it was good. It was so good. And then on top of, before I took the bath, she took some of that tea leaves. I think this is a tea. Yeah, it's a tea at this point. And she just took it, and she said, you drink that afterwards. And so I did. Let me tell you, that night I slept. And she said, just keep a spare set of clothes for you, because you may sweat in the middle of the night. And it wasn't hot. It's not necessarily hot. It wasn't hot out. Yes, I literally sweat. I changed my clothes maybe 3 times during that night. Just sweat, just wetting through my clothes, wetting through my PJs. And the next day I looked, that swelling on my feet was gone. And I urinated like it was like a diuretic in its way. It's just like, it just took that water weight off of me. And I was just so happy. I needed that. I so needed that bath. Yeah, that was, thank you for the elders, man. Like, seriously. And they're bringing these traditions and bringing them and passing them down. Like, seriously. And that sweating that I mentioned, I've experienced it before too. And like the sweating, I would have like night sweats. I think they just started wrapping up the night sweats. I don't have them back to back. I may get them like once or twice a week now, but initially I would sweat all the time at night and having to change my clothes. At least, okay, so cotton, I recommend wearing cotton, some like loose fitting clothes. Oh, I put down here that I said my thank yous. Oh, that probably should have been the first thing. So I had a baby shower and I had to send thank yous for that, of course. But then I said, well, let me, what I did was order the thank you cards. I said, well, when the baby is born, I'll take the pictures and send, and then when I got the pictures and whatever like that. And I mailed a good book of addresses. I used Amazon for the registry, and it was great because like it has a thank you section and it has everyone's address who placed the order. I don't know if it has Prime, if they need to have Prime or not, but I got addresses and I sent thank yous. I sent 85% of my thank yous out. I got interrupted in which I forgot, like I think yeah, I didn't think. What happened was my toddler got to my stamps and took my biggest stamps because, of course, in his head, it's stickers. And so there are some people that I do need to thank, but I think at this point where I could have probably still sent them out, but I kind of felt like it was in between from the time the shower was until that point. I kind of felt like, and the baby had changed so much already. I said that it may have been best for me to just wait till the baby has his 3 months, even though it was going to be a late thank you, but I felt like it would make more sense to give an updated picture of the baby rather than just a card or the newborn announcement at that point. So that's where I'm at with that. But I have that all listed down. I write in my planner. Oh, my planner has kept me together. Even though, as like I said, I'm getting like, I get foggy especially in the initial couple of months, like I got foggy. So like having like the planner, writing my notes based on the month right there kept me in track. Oh, another thing, if you are working, and I didn't even mention, that should have been early on. One of the first things I actually had to do was after I had the baby, I had to update, like, insurance, update, get my benefits. If you have a job and that, gives you benefits and all that stuff, and just filing out all that stuff with the state, that was an interesting process because I caught something that I didn't get in piece of information, but I'm glad I wrote it down. I was able to make the connection like something was lacking, because if I didn't have that piece of information or that paperwork, it would have prolonged even longer me getting my benefits. So you need some type of organization. The planner, I have a Happy Planner, and I like it a lot. All right, and so that's what I use. So I had to, because life does go on, and certain things only you can do for yourself. So I used to thrive on being like a big old multitasker. I can do mad things all at the same time, but that slowed down, and I feel as though I don't need to be anybody's superwoman, but I do need to be able to handle my business in a timely fashion of very important things. So that's pretty much it. So at this point, I'm enjoying the baby. The baby's doing really well. He's developing. I think I have I have like a little short, which you can see the baby on my channel, so you can see how cute he is. And I do thank you for watching. I really do. And like I mentioned, if you are expecting, congratulations. I really wish you all the best. And if you have a newborn, congratulations as well. It's a special time. Please enjoy it. Take your pictures, take your videos, and don't be so hard on yourself. You've done a wonderful thing. You have brought life into this world, and it's such a blessing. Please enjoy. All right, guys, stay blessed. Bye. Oh, I said bye, but I want to say one more thing. Keep the conversation going in the comment section. So, like, if you have a question, because I'm sure, even though I wrote notes, I may have forgotten something that I really want to mention. And when I play this back, I'm not going to record and I'm not going to really edit. So it is what it is. But like, if you have a question, feel free to ask that in the comment section. If you have an experience you want to share, type it below. I'm interested. I will read and comment back. So, and like the video if you really genuinely got something out of it. All right, guys. So this time for real, be blessed and thank you for watching. Bye. Peace.